Hello, everyone. Welcome to William and the Magic Box. Today on our show, we are going to have Charlie. Charlie is from England in the UK. So let's see what Charlie has to say. Enjoy the interview. Hello, Charlie. How are you?
Hi, yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, it's nice to meet you and everything all good with you?
Nice to meet you too. Thanks so much for taking the time today for the interview. Thank you.
No, pleasure. Thanks for
Amazing.
asking.
So tell me, how's your week going so far?
Yeah, it's good. Yes, feels like a good week. It's been like the first week I felt properly back at work because
Okay.
had 2 weeks off over Christmas and New Year, which
Mm-hmm.
was nice, and then went back to work the first week of January, and it was my birthday as well, so like I had a bit of a day off that day, so it didn't really feel like a proper working week.
Uh-huh.
And then I was lucky enough to go to Portugal last week, so it's
Wow.
very much been like a slow start to the year, but in a good way. And But now it's like back to work properly, and it's felt like a productive week. So yeah, it's been good. So yeah, been a good week.
When was your birthday?
It was the 7th of January.
1st of January?
7th.
7th.
Yeah.
Okay. And do you like celebrating birthdays?
Do I like celebrating
Yeah.
birthdays? Yeah. Always, it's always nice to celebrate with friends if it's their birthday or my birthday. But yeah, this one I actually just very much chilled out at home. Just kind of took most of the day off. I was like, you know what, it's my birthday. I'm going to take most of the day off and just chill out. But yeah, so I do like to celebrate. Yeah.
And where's in Portugal were you visiting?
We went to the south coast, like quite close to Faro, I think. There,
Faro? Yeah,
yeah. So
I see.
yeah, Catera in particular.
Okay.
Yeah.
I used to live in Porto on the north side. I used to live before moving to England. Yeah,
Oh, cool. Well, like, funny you say that. I'm in a band, and our vocalist is from Portugal. I think originally from the outskirts of Lisbon.
amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's start the interview talking about your career as a musician. So I was checking your profile a little bit. I could see, you playing some instruments. So tell me a little bit more about your career, how everything started.
So, yeah, I started playing guitar around the age of 12 or 13, very much inspired by rock and metal music. Um, and started learning with a very good friend of mine from school. We started a band. Then, from there, I'd been was in that band for quite a while until I went to music college. And that's where I studied, I guess what you'd call higher education, kind of like equivalent of A levels and then a degree in music.
Mhm.
And then from there, I was in bands as well, where I went touring around the UK and Europe.
Wow.
But also, I worked at a guitar school and also
Mhm.
at some guitar clubs. So I started teaching as a guitar teacher, and
Okay.
started finding that I very much found it rewarding to teach other people and share my knowledge and experience, and so I'd started to, as well as being in writing music and being in a touring band, also um, also uh, trying to follow a career path as a guitar teacher.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing. So I believe that you are the guitarist of the band that you are based right now.
Yeah, I'm the guitarist in the band, and I guess as well they would probably say that I'm kind of like the business manager of the band as well.
Oh, so you are the one controlling the money, you're controlling everything in the band as well. The business.
Yeah, not that there's a lot of money going around, but yeah, like the all of the serious stuff, and sometimes mundane and boring stuff. Basically, making sure the wheels are turning, make sure the boat still stays afloat.
And what's the name of your band?
It's Harbinger.
Wow. And tell me where are you from, Charlie?
So I currently live in Hampshire in the UK,
Hmm. Yeah.
fairly close to Southampton. I used to live in Surrey. I've actually only been living down here for just over a year.
Okay.
And prior to all of that, when I was a kid, I grew up in the Isle of Man.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, that's. But I was born in England, raised in the Isle of Man, and then moved back over here. So.
And where your family are based?
So my family, like my mum and dad, are in Surrey.
Hmm.
My brother and his fiance were in Exeter, and I've got most of my family are like around either the south or north of England. So actually, yeah, I've got family kind of all over the place, but all over
And
England.
what's the biggest joy of living in the place you're living right now? What do you like the most about it?
I like how it's so where I used to live was very much in the middle of nowhere. There wasn't like it was a small village. It had everything you needed from day to day, but it felt kind of cut off, like no train station and stuff like that. But yeah, here it's kind of the best of both worlds. Like we're only 15-minute drive outside the city center, so it's really easy to get into there. But then, and there's a train station here. There's multiple train stations around, and but it also still feels a bit like towny or villagey, like where we are. So, and it's the kind of like best of both worlds. We've got everything we need, not far out of our past our doorstep, but it's
Uh-huh.
also quite quiet, and I like that. We both like that, yeah.
And how far are you from London?
About I think on the train it's about an hour and a half,
Okay.
depending if the trains are running well, But yeah, driving depending on where you're going can be anywhere
Yeah.
between South London can be like an hour, but then Central or North London could be more like 2 hours.
Amazing. Okay, Charlie. So during the interview, I'm going to explore a bit more about your life and also about your journey, okay?
Okay.
But before we start our journey within the magic box, I would like you to tell me something interesting about yourself or maybe something that not many people know about you.
So I'm gonna go somewhere a bit jokey here. Um, I can wiggle my ears.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Wow. That's
it's kind of
amazing.
it's kind of funny. Like I just like when I was a kid, I just suddenly realized I could do it. It's like it's weird.
Oh my God, that's amazing. Do it again. Let me see.
So I don't know what.
Oh my God. That's incredible. Wow.
So I guess
That-
that's kind of interesting. I don't know. Like
I
um,
can I can see you in the classroom making some like some movements when the teacher.
yeah. Well, actually, funny enough, this is what you're seeing is basically my classroom. I'm a
Right.
online coach, so it's
Amazing.
yeah. But
Great.
yeah, I don't yeah, can't think apart from like um I mean most people know that I'm a musician and I'm in a band and I've toured around Europe and the UK.
Hmm.
I don't know whether
I'll take the years movement.
yeah for sure.
I'm ready to go on a beautiful journey through your memories in life and share your point of views.
Okay, yeah.
Amazing. Welcome to William in the Magic Box. So I have here my best friend, full of wonderful questions. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to play a song just for us to relax before the first question, okay?
Okay, sure.
Let's do it. Right, so before we start the game, during the interview, if it comes up a question that you don't want to talk about, you don't want to answer, always can change, okay?
Sure.
Amazing. First question is, what hurt your feelings?
A couple of things came to mind. Like one of them is like when somebody assumes something about you without knowing you or even or get actually talking to you about that could be like getting to know you for the first time or even just even if it's a friend that they assume something about you before they even like talk to you about something like an issue and that's kind of like makes me sad. It's like just let's just talk and get to know each other and really understand what's going on. So yeah, that hurts my feelings.
Do you cry easily?
um I haven't cried for a very long time, so I don't think though saying that sometimes like when I'm watching like a TV show or film, like sometimes it does hit you in the feels, and it's yeah, I think it has to be something that really like jerks me emotionally.
I see. Okay, next question. Let's do it. Hey, Charlie from England. Next question for you is: tell me, when was the last time that you laughed so hard that you couldn't stop laughing, and why?
I'm pretty sure something happened last week where I was laughing so much that my stomach, like my abs and my back hurt. But I can't remember exactly what it was. I just remember, we were with some friends in Portugal, so um, it it could have been we just were messing around. Like I've got like I can I've got one of those well, I'd say I've got one of those personalities where I can be serious when I need to be, but like, when I'm at home or with friends, I have quite a silly sense of humor. So it's probably something very silly.
And tell me, what was the highlight of your trip to Portugal?
Uh, it's got so many things. We've visited a lot. I would say probably we went to this in Faro or Faro. Is it Faro?
Paro, yeah.
Faro, yeah. In Faro, we went to this vegan restaurant. Me and my partner are both vegan, and
Okay.
it's called Ultralado, and or Ultralado, and it was absolutely amazing. Like I think that's a highlight. We're big foodies, so like a lot of like holidays, like we remember food and stuff, and it was just amazing. They did like lots of traditional Portuguese food, but veganized.
Mm,
So
yeah.
yeah, it was amazing.
And how long have you been vegan for?
I think it's probably 6 or no, it would be 7 or 8 years now, I think.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow,
yeah.
impressive. And why did you decide to have this lifestyle of being vegan? Did something happen, or just, based in circumstances in life that you realized that you wanted to be vegan?
Yeah, it's kind of for me circumstantial and in life. It, I feel like it's the being vegan or whole food plant based is like the healthiest kind of thing you can do for yourself and your longevity. But also it's also to do with like the current planet and climate
Hmm.
and an animal and the love for animals. Like it just I just felt like it was the right thing to do.
It's interesting saying that, Charlie. I had a few, guests here on the show that they became vegans for the same reason as well. Most of them for the same reason: the environment and the animals. And we think nowadays I think nowadays, even you go to supermarkets like Los Supermarket, they have some sections, vegan sections, and I love
Yeah.
that. I think it's amazing. How do you see that? Be a vegan. You just mentioned about being away on holidays. Do you think nowadays that is easier? You can find easily places, restaurants, or do you still struggle a little bit, depending the place or around your city as well? How do you see that? But based on your experience.
Yeah, from my experience, I think it's quite easy. Like when we do go out or when we go on holiday, it's like it's treat time. We're going out, we want to like treat ourselves and stuff like that. So it's there's loads of vegan food out there. A lot of restaurants are now doing vegan alternatives or vegan dishes.
Hmm.
There's sadly there are like a lot of vegan cafes or restaurants that you see come and go and stuff like that, but at the same time it's still a lot more out there than they used to be. And I think even when we turned vegan, it wasn't that hard to get vegan food out. But I hear from other people that have been vegan for longer that it has been difficult way in the past, like 20 years ago. But at home it's very much easy because it's a lot of it is just in a nutshell, eat plants. Eat fruits, vegetables, legumes, potatoes, pasta, rice. It's so it's quite easy to like cook it at home, but it's nice to have the options when you go out, that it's like, oh, I can try something a little bit different from what I would have at home, or and so on. Yeah.
Amazing. Next question, let's do it. Right, so before the next question, what's the biggest joy of being a musician? What do you like the most about, your career? Tell me a little bit about it.
So the coaching and mentoring side that I do, so the music mentor job that I do online. My my most favorite thing about that is I feel like I'm giving back. So like I'm giving back to other people, society. I'm hopefully inspiring other musicians to go out and go on stage or write and release music. And just seeing in real time like that eureka moment with clients where they suddenly something clicks, or they've suddenly discovered or they've learned this new skill or concept from me, and it's helped them like finally finish loads of music. And so yeah, it's very rewarding. And then the actual being in a band side is, my favorite thing is getting to show the world music that I've written or I've been a part of writing, and also getting up on stage and playing that in front of audiences. It's for me, there's like it's probably the best feeling in my life when I'm up on stage in front of people that have actually come to see the band.
And you say about coaching, helping others, helping people. It's always online, or do you teach as well one-to-one?
Yeah, so it's all online. So like me and you here, it would be in real time. So I still describe it as one-on-one, face-to-face, but on screens. So I do it all online, one-on-one. I used to, this is kind of like the where I've gotten to from the 15 years or 12, 15 years of being a music educator has gotten me, like, starting off as a guitar teacher in a guitar school, and working in some clubs, and then going from like driving around people's houses to then hiring somewhere and getting them to come to me. And then eventually, funny enough, it was actually during the pandemic that I already had some online students, but nowhere near the majority. And everybody, I had to transition everybody over to Zoom. And after 2-3 years of doing it, I loved it so much, and it was just right for me that I changed my business model and stuff like that. So, and that I'm here now.
Amazing, great. Next question for you is, what's the best first date you ever be on?
Best first date?
Yes.
I've got to say it's probably the partner that I'm with at the moment. At the moment, that sounds like it's not gonna last. No, the partner I'm with now. I always remember our first date. It was at Yo Sushi when we both still ate animal products. And yeah, it just there's always a fond memory in my mind. Just I can be a messy eater, just like accidentally dropping food down me, but she dropped food down herself first, and I was like, okay, yeah, this girl's for me,
And so far, what has been the most meaningful lesson you've learned from her?
To take a break, allow myself to chill and take the pressure off. Not necessarily that she's been like kind of teaching me to do that, but over the years that we've been together, it's it's made me like slow down a bit. I still very much got ambitions and things that I want to do, but I've kind of learned now that I don't have to be like constantly go at 100 miles per hour and always working, no play. I very much have been in the past all work, no play, so, or very rare, very little play. So
what's the biggest joy of being Charlie? What do you like the most about being you?
That's a nice question. probably that I smile a lot.
Uh-huh.
You know, um I've had people that come up to me at shows and stuff and be like, "You look so happy all the time," or like, "You smile so much," and or people have stopped me in public or and said like, you know, "You're so smiley," and stuff like that. And so I
Amazing.
guess you know, sometimes people can say it as if it's like you know, they're almost like oh God, why are you so smiley all the time? But you know,
Amazing.
like I see it as a good thing. You know, like I'd rather walk around with a smile than yeah that look miserable all the time. You know.
I get your point, and I think you're totally right. I think people recognize that, from you is a big compliment for sure, because somehow, it's a postcard. It's something that people, look at you. And actually, you're saying that it's true. You come across, you have this vibe of, being happy, or this positive vibe. My question for you is, you always been this way, or some time of your life, something kind of change, and you somehow, this is something that just took over you?
I think I've always been quite smiley, like even as a kid.
Mhm.
I remember friends of mine, in as a kid or in my teens, you know, them sort of doing the whole, you know, boys will be boys, and like, you know, like my mates that were guys would be like, "Oh God, you're always smiling," you know, almost as I was saying before, like, you know, they're offended by my smile, but you know, we're just winding each other up. And so yeah, I think I've always been quite smiley. You know, it's you know, don't get me wrong, like you know,
So,
there's times where I'm not smiling, but you know, it's it seems to be a reoccurring event of me smiling. You know.
amazing. Love that. Next question. Let's do it. Hey, Charlie, next question for you is, tell us a funny story or a moment that happened to you when you were a child at school.
uh, funny moment. So the first thing that pops into my head, and is that um, it's not like I wouldn't. I just like I just remember me and a friend. This is when we were quite young, probably like 4 or 5 years old or something like that. We were probably playing something like Power Rangers or something like that, you know, like in the schoolyard, you know. And there was like I always remember there was an underground bit to the playground, and there was like it was quite an old school, so there was like a kind of like stone table, and like
Uh-huh.
I got up on it and I was like pretending to be a Power Ranger, and I accidentally kicked my friend in the head.
Of course.
But you know, obviously there's it's I don't, you know, this just shows my sense of humor, I guess. But so you know, it's kind of a funny memory, and I'm sure like if he saw this or heard about this, he'd laugh about it as well. But he like he went and told the teacher that I kicked him in the head, so like I got in trouble for it, you know. But you know, just it's funny. Kids will be kids, you know.
You just incorporate properly the Power Rangers character. You just, you know what? Let's go for it. Let's
Yeah,
just do
yeah, yeah, yeah. We you know, if he was another, if I was a stuntman and he was a stuntman, I would have said, "Oh, you just got too close," you know, like.
And who was your favorite teacher? Do you remember that?
I did have, I guess the one that I'm thinking of was like during my GCSEs, like our music teacher had to go on leave, and we got this other teacher in, and I learned a lot from him. Like
Wow.
he just, I don't know, he just taught in a way that helped me understand things a lot more. And so you know, if it um I felt like he helped me get a good base level that then helped of like music theory that then helped me jump off of like music college and further.
Wow.
Yeah.
And for you, of course, being an artist, being a musician, when you realize that, when you start showing your talent genuinely, how did your family approach your parents? Did you have some support? Or for, sometimes the stigma about being an artist, is something
Yeah.
that, parents, some of them, of course, they're not, maybe they don't want that, or they're not prepared. They prefer to have more, maybe a stable, career or something like that. So tell me about your experience at the time.
Yeah, totally. So my parents have always been amazingly supportive. Um, in the beginnings, like they've always been supportive of me, like learning the instrument and being in a band. I remember, like in my first band, they would like drive me to gigs because like I was one of the younger people in the band, and they would just like
Wow,
drive me to gigs all the time, transporting gear. So
amazing.
they've done a hell of a lot for me. Like when I decided I wanted to do it in further education and not take the normal route of like do my A levels, and go do a normal degree, like there was a bit of persuading, in particular, like my dad, like he came from a more proper background, I think, from
Okay.
his dad, so but he we went. I always remember. I actually got a fond memory that we went to a college together, so he could see if there was anything else. And I spoke to the teachers at the college and stuff. And after we left, my dad was like, "Yeah, they weren't listening to you. They didn't fully understand what you wanted. I think you going to music college is a good shout." So yeah,
Wow.
is
And yep, carry on.
I was just gonna say, but it was we came to like a kind of like what you call it? We decided that going straight after my GCSEs would be too early. So what I ended up doing was working for 1 year,
Hmm.
but that was very valuable in itself to do that before actually going to study again.
Wow. And music always be part of your life since young age.
Yeah, so I remember watching my christening tape and like having rock music in the background, and my
Wow.
my mom and dad have always like listened to rock music, and
Amazing.
just kind of that's where it sparked off, fond memories of kind of like music Friday nights where when we were younger my dad would put on multiple albums and stuff, and it was kind of like a almost like a family event. We put the music on, and we just chill out on a Friday, and yeah. So yeah, it's always been part of my life.
Amazing. 3 questions left. Let's do it. You like dancing?
I like dancing, but I don't think I'm very good at it.
Before the next question, let's do a little game. So tell me 3 names of 3 musicians or artists in the music industry that you always be inspired by.
Sure. So probably the first person that made me want to play guitar is probably Tony Iommi. He's the
Okay.
guitarist of Black Sabbath.
All right.
Um, then a guitarist that I find another guitarist I find inspiring that's more modern is a guy called Brandon Ellis,
Okay.
and then yeah, I'll just go for another guitarist that I find inspiring, which is called Wes
Yeah.
Hauck. So
All of them, they're still with us? The 3 of them, they're still with us or not?
sorry, was it?
So the 3 guitarists just mentioned now, they're still with us.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, they are. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So now the question is gonna be a bit more tougher now. So one day you're gonna wake up in the morning having 3 missed calls on your phone from those 3 you just mentioned right
Yeah,
now. I think you know where I'm going to, yes?
yeah, yeah.
Which one you gonna call back straight away? Which one you gonna send a message? I call you back later. And the third one, you don't call back, you don't send a message, just ignore him for now. I know it's tough.
Oh no. Because like do like any of that could be like, yeah, like oh.
And they're watching, okay? 3 of them they're watching this interview right now, okay?
um, I think I'd have to call back Tony Iommi
Okay.
first, because being like the guy that basically invented heavy metal, guitar playing, yeah,
Wow.
it's kind of I'd have that would be the person that I'd have to call back straight away. Um, I think the text would go to oh Wes Hauk, I guess, and then I'd. But you know, I don't want to blank Brandon Ellis. You know.
You understand. You understand. I put you in the spot, so you understand for sure. But my fault. I'll take
Yeah,
the blame.
I'm just too busy, man. You know.
Next question is, what do you like the most about your best friends?
They care a lot. They're very um they're very thoughtful and sensitive
Okay.
in the sense of like, you know, they care for other people, or you know, other people's feelings, and also they're inspiring too. So, you know, they're yeah.
Tell me a friend that when you're feeling the lowest, for some reason, this person comes to your mind for you to open up or talk a little bit. And also the same friends that when you're feeling the happiest, you feel like, oh my God, I need to share that with this person. Tell me which friend comes to your mind.
Yeah. Well, funny enough, like I think all of them, like I could do that to like the friends I'm thinking of.
Uh-huh.
Um, you know, like I mean, my partner is like my best friend as well as
Of
you know,
course.
my partner, and I feel like, you know, I can talk to her at my lowest and happiest. But yeah, like I was also thinking about my best friend from that still lives on the Isle of Man, Natasha.
Okay.
She's
Okay.
again, it's like if I feel like I could go to her when I'm feeling at my lowest, but I also feel like I often we share things with each other when we're like super excited and happy, and you know, and stuff like that. So
It's
it's
amazing. Okay. So your best friends that you mentioned right now include your partner as well. They're watching this interview right now. You have a moment, an opportunity to send them a message. What would you say? They're watching.
so I'd say to you know, Natasha that you know, I hope the floofs are all good, which are her cats.
Oh,
and and I'll say I'm trying to refrain of telling a type of joke which I often like to you know, a type of jokes that I often like to say. She'll get what I mean. And then yeah, my partner just you know, you're my rock, and
oh.
you know, you're always supportive and caring, and I love you.
Sweet, sweet. I think having someone by our side that supports us, I think that's a big plus in our lives
Yeah.
because, you feel the greatest. You feel like you just can go for it because they're gonna be by your side in the lowest, in the happiest
Yeah.
point. I think it's amazing to have people who accept the way we are and be by our side.
Yeah, for
Beautiful.
sure. Yeah.
Great.
Very
Two,
lucky.
two questions left. Let's
Cool.
do it. Okay, before the next one, you mentioned a few times that you're touring around Europe, yeah?
Mhm.
So tell me a little bit more about this adventure in your life.
Cool. So yeah, it certainly can feel like an adventure, you know, like I've in the past I've lived in a basically like a sprinter van or splitter van, you know, like that's had bunk beds converted into it, and so live with like six people in close quarters around Europe. Um, so that can be an adventure in itself, you know, like it certainly tests you know, and tests, you know, yourself, but we all came out alive, so it's fine. And we're still all good friends and still in the band, so
Wow.
um but yeah, like, and then sometimes I get the opportunity to be on a big bus, like a double decker bus, and it has bunk beds upstairs, and share
Wow.
that with the other bands that we're on tour with, and that's really cool because you get to meet new people, and you know, during that time, because you're living with each other, do create new best friends
Totally.
and friends that I think are for life. And like we could even, a lot of these people I've not seen for like a year or even 2 years or even more. But I feel like if we end up touring together again, it would just be like going back to when we were last on tour. And and just like getting to explore all of the different countries that I've been
Hmm.
fortunate enough to go to. It's
Wow,
yeah, it's very cool.
amazing. Next question for you is, what would be the theme song? No, sorry. What would your theme song be if you had your own show?
I mean, what comes to my mind is the 1990s like theme tune for the animated Batman series, just because like
Okay.
I'm so like I love Batman, and I loved that TV show growing up. So yeah, I kind of getting to use that seems appropriate.
Amazing.
Mhm.
And why this song?
Um, One, like nostalgia.
Okay.
Two, because Batman's my favorite superhero. But also three, I guess it's a very cool theme tune. It's like I love how it's the melody in it and the harmony, like how it's composed. Basically, it's like yeah, very very like it.
You know what? You mentioned now the word nostalgia, and a question just came to my mind straight away when you said that. I love music as well, Charlie. I'm not a musician, but for me, music always been part of my life. I live with music every single day. I think music, moves your soul. Is everything about you. It helps you to be happier, or helps you to come come out of some situations. It's amazing, the power of music. And somebody asked me once that which decade of music I liked the most, and for me, the 80s.
Nice,
I
yeah.
don't know. I grew up in the 80s. Back in Brazil. Remember my dad. He was a truck driver, and he was driving. Sometimes I was with him, and he was listening to Elton John, ABBA, Madonna, all those big 80s stars. And I was fascinated. I couldn't understand at the time. I couldn't speak English. So for me, I just the melody was in my ears, and they were singing. I was like, oh my God, that's beautiful. It just connects with that.
Yeah.
My question for you is, what decade for you music always somehow inspired you, for your music, for your career, or for your personal life as well? There was a decade that for you have a big connection with?
I guess probably um the early 2000s, so 2000 to 2010. Yeah, like it's the era in metal where new metal came about, and that sort of, it was like a gateway to a lot of other music and heavier music and stuff like that. So yeah, definitely, I guess like I would say formative. Even though like I was listening to other music before then and stuff, but I feel like that was quite influential and formed a certain base in my inspiration, I think.
And metal music always been your favorite?
Yeah, definitely. Like starting with classic rock music like Deep Purple and Led Zeppelin and Black
Okay.
Sabbath, being like one of the first heavy metal bands, if not the first heavy metal band. But then it just kind of got heavier, and I still love. I have an eclectic taste of music, but
Hmm.
there's just something about metal that's just, it's like the energy,
Uh-huh.
the way that it's written, I find really interesting, especially with certain metal bands. And um, yeah, it's just I think there's a saying that like people that listen to death metal are the happiest people. I don't know
Interesting.
whether it's, I don't think it's like a complete blanket statement, but I think that there's been like scientific studies where people that listen to like heavier metal or heavy metal um have been found to be happier, in general. So
And you are a big example of it. You're always happy. So there you go. It makes
yeah,
sense.
yeah.
Last question. Ready?
Yeah, sure.
Let's do it. Last question. Okay, but before the last question, I'm gonna ask two questions in one. So the first part of the question is, as teaching students, online students, tell me a moment or a situation that you're never gonna forget. Could be maybe a session with a student or maybe feedback, something that so far, you hold close to your heart. And the other part of the question is, as a musician, a career, you've been touring, doing some gigs around Europe. Tell me a moment that for you, it's like, wow, that moment also I'm gonna always remember for any reason.
Yeah. So yeah, with the like education side of things, probably yeah, just I mean, I've taught quite a lot of young kids over the years. Like in the past, I work with mainly adults now, but
Hmm.
yeah, just seeing like I in particular I still work with a kid, and the reason why I still work with him is because he's a prodigy in a way. Like he's just got an immense amount of talent. So to see somebody that young, even just performing and play, getting invited by adults to play along with them and stuff like that. It's just yeah, it's kind of it makes me feel proud, and also
Amazing.
I'm sure it makes his family feel very proud. So yeah, and I'm excited to see where his
Wow,
path leads.
amazing. I love that. I love it.
And
Somehow you're part of it as well because you are, guiding,
yeah,
so it's amazing. I love it.
yeah, for sure. It's I can kind of be like, it's like kind of saying like, when you make it famous, don't forget about me.
Love it.
Yeah. But like, yeah, being on stage, I guess, or being on tour and stuff. Um, I think a memory that stands out that wasn't that long ago was, we played our first shows in Ireland not that long ago, like a couple of years ago, and well, a few years ago now actually. But it just for some reason we hit it off really well, and so we got invited back to play a festival in the south of Ireland in Limerick. It's called Siege of Limerick, the festival, and just to be play the main stage in an absolutely packed out room. The crowd was crazy. It was just like, wow, this is yeah, amazing memory. Just like we all came off stage absolutely buzzing.
Wow.
We were like, that was awesome. That was worth us coming back over here for.
Wow. I can picture all of you like buzzing after the crowd and the energy, to come down a little bit. I'm sure it was quite hard.
Yeah, yeah. Well, usually what happens is that we're like, okay, when's dinner? So we're usually our brains are going straight like after. Well, usually we have to like pack away some gear and stuff. So I
Of
guess that
course.
kind of helps with the decompression a little bit. But usually we're off stage like, right, where's food? I need food.
Amazing. Okay, last question is, what are you most passionate about?
uh, I mean, blanket statement, I guess, music. But I am very passionate about helping people,
Hmm.
and because of the job that I do, the role that I play in helping people develop their skills, their creativity, their even maybe their careers. Um, but I like helping people outside of that as well. So if I get
Wow.
an opportunity to just yeah, anybody that wants to come for advice or whatever, be like, well, if I can help in any way, I'll try.
So based on that, tell me, people watch this interview right now, maybe they would like to, contact you or connect with you, and uh, to see, the work that you provide. What's something that stands out? What's something about you, about the work that you teach that somehow stands out?
So I built my like mentorship program around working with individuals. So it's like real life human connection. So one on one support, and it's not. I think that stands out because it's not just like a guitar lesson, or it's not just it's not just a guitar lesson, or it's not just like a video course, or it's not just like a cookie cutter thing. It's like every person that I work with the program is individualized and personalized to them. So it's very much like I'm working with them as a human being and getting to know them and what their problems are and what their goals are, and that's how the program is built. It's not just like everybody gets exactly the same thing.
I love that, and it makes a difference because people, it's, as you said, it's a personal class. It's an individual class. That, of course, the focus is music, but in the end of the day, it's how you're feeling, how you are, feeling on that day or that week or that moment. Somehow, and is a trust between you and the person that you are connected at the time as well, teaching.
Yeah.
So I think it stands out for sure, that because it makes personal, makes special as well, and people appreciate that more than ever. Yes. Great.
Yeah.
Right, it's not the end yet. Let's play now the word association game. Okay, I'm going to say some words. It's just one word that comes to your mind. Quick thinking.
Okay.
Let's start with family.
Mum.
Money.
Job.
Fear.
Scared.
Life.
Fruitful.
Love.
Romantic.
Religion.
Not interested.
Sex.
Fun.
Politics.
Dark.
Friendship.
Fulfilling.
Desire.
Fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that. Regrets.
Move forward.
Success.
Rewarding.
Wish.
Hope.
Happiness.
The aim.
One word for England.
One word for England. Home.
One word for your band.
Family.
Oh, nice one. One word for guitarist.
Shredder.
And the last one now, one word for music.
Heavy.
I was about to say metal music, but you just said no. So let's pretend now I'm going to meet your partner for a coffee, and I'm going to ask your partner, define Charlie in one positive and one negative word only. What she would say about you?
I reckon funny.
Okay.
And negative thing.
You are too perfect for her. That's why.
No. Maybe workaholic.
I see. Can be negative sometimes for sure.
Yeah.
Let's play now, Charlie, and the magic box, and you can ask me a question. But before you ask me the question, tell me what music has taught you so far.
So far, music has taught me to, it certainly taught me some life skills over the years, like learning an instrument, learning to work towards something has taught me a lot, like discipline, what the reward that you can get out of committing yourself to something and persevering. Like if you fail, try it, and if you fail again, try again. Just if in doubt, try again. That saying.
Always.
It's I guess taught me to have fun. It's taught me that I can, do what I want. Well, I guess in some ways, like, it taught me that I could do what I want in life. But what I like always wanted to do. Um,
Hmm.
it's taught me that you can always meet new people, create new communities, uh, and yeah, you can change. You can also change people's lives through it, which yeah.
You know what? I'm talking to you. You give me inspiration to ask you questions. I'm gonna ask. Can I ask you a very difficult question? You don't need to answer if you don't want to. It's based on
Okay.
your career as a musician. Right. So the question for you is, if one day someone or maybe someone come up to you and say, you know, Charlie, from now on, you can choose just one career, or to play in your bands and be successful and do your tours and create music, this and that, or you can just teach, still educating people music, and connect with others. Which one would you choose?
Yeah. So if I could only pick one, I'd, as long as it could pay the bills, and I could continue living, it would be the band, because I think that's the reason why, deep down, the reason why I'm doing all of this. Like, it's um, teaching was like almost like a happy accident from
Mm-hmm,
looking for a job.
mm-hmm,
Like, I was like, okay, I want to pursue the dream. Basically, I want to pursue the dream. How, but I know that it's a long journey, and it's a lot of hard work. Financially, it doesn't pay off most of the time. So
mm-hmm.
um I need some stability. So I decided, I'll try teaching, and the happy accident was that I really enjoyed it and found it, like I just loved doing it. So yeah, it would be very sad to be made to only pick one, because, like, as I said, I like that part of my job, like helping people, passing
Totally.
on the knowledge and experience. But like, yeah, deep down, as long as I could still live the way that I do by being in a band and touring, then yeah, totally. I feel like that's what I was put on the planet for, to
Oh,
write music and get up on stage and perform it. Like, I think if I didn't have that, like, I when I don't write music, when I'm not feeling creative, I it like, I feel depressed, or it saddens me. So, and
yeah,
you
yeah.
know, but also, like, if I don't work on my craft, like if I don't practice my guitar, that also saddens me. So I know that if I don't do certain things in my life, I don't feel like I'm fulfilling. I don't feel very fulfilled.
I
So
see.
yeah, so if I couldn't, if I chose the teaching, I think it would leave me a bit like something was missing.
I get it. Was it difficult or not? Was okay the question?
Uh, not necessarily difficult, but it's
It's hard. It's a hard.
yeah, it's hard.
Yeah.
Like, it's hard to just go black and white and be like,
Yes.
like, the it's definitely this one, because it would be, if I actually had to do it, it would be super hard,
I'm
because
sure. Sure.
yeah.
And 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 actually, playing a band as well, you teach somehow. You know what I mean? People they would look at you and go, like, "Oh my God, it's Charlie! I can see the way he plays. I can see." You know, he would be teaching people for sure.
Yeah, cool.
It's okay to keep the question. It's okay.
Yeah, all good.
Yeah,
Yeah, happy. Yeah,
amazing. Okay, Charlie, can you ask me a question now?
sure. So what what's your favorite artist or band?
Great question. Great question. And as I mentioned before, I'm so music, any kind of music moves me. Yeah, sometimes depending, what I'm doing or how I'm feeling or what, if I'm connected to someone. For example, when I do the show here, I always bring different music, always the one I like it. I have this tendency to get music from my childhood because it brings me this great energy when I'm doing the show
Yeah.
somehow about nostalgia that we talked before. Okay, very difficult question, but I'm gonna find one for you. Very hard because I love
Yeah,
music.
yeah, it is
You know,
very hard to pick
dance.
one
It's
band.
really hard, really hard. let me get a band that somehow, you know what? I like the Oasis.
Oh,
I like
okay, yeah, cool.
Oasis. I do some songs, it just bring to the 90s, back in Brazil. And I remember a friend of mine, she loved them. I remember like when we were listening together, she was over the place, and of course they go back now on tour, last year, and it was a big thing.
Yeah,
So I think, I would go for the Oasis. For some reason, I just like them. And actually, I met the main vocalist once in London, and I didn't know who he was. Can you imagine?
yeah,
It was a pretty meeting. I was working a 5-star hotel, and I was, walking around the hotel, and suddenly this gentleman just approached me very briefly, saying, "Oh, where can I get somewhere?" It was like one of the, private meeting rooms, and I literally
yeah,
just, because it was so briefly, that I said, "Oh, actually, just go up the stairs all the way to the left," and this guy just left, and suddenly a colleague of mine, he was like, oh my god, did you see the husband talk to?" I said, "No, William, he's the vocalist of Oasis." I was like, "No, my god, don't tell me that." And it was such a brief
Brilliant.
moment that
Yeah,
I didn't kind of, connect it very briefly, or so briefly, and I couldn't believe. I was like, okay, now I can tell that I talked to the, to the vocalist,
yeah,
at least briefly, for a few words.
yeah,
Oh yeah, I'll go for Waze now. But trust me, Charlie, I could tell you so many other brands that I
yeah,
love it. You know what I mean? Depending, as I said to you, depending the time of my life, depending the phase I am, you know what I mean,
yeah,
facing. It could be anything. And I love music. My variety of music, I have no idea. You can go to the 80s, to the 90s, 2000. Nowadays, there are so many new bands as well. So I could tell you so many. But Oasis, yeah, for sure. I'll go for Oasis
nice.
now.
Do you have a
Amazing.
favorite song from that band?
The underground, no, underground, the very famous one. Um, Today is gonna be the day that, and then back to you.
Oh yeah, Wonderwall.
Wonderwall,
Yeah,
yes,
that's it, yeah,
Wonderwall,
yeah,
Wonderwall. So that's one that's stay with me, and a friend of mine, she was crazy about that music, and it brings nostalgia for sure. Yeah.
yeah. Nice, awesome.
Enjoy the interview.
Yeah, yeah, it was really fun. Yeah, thank you for having me, and yeah, hopefully you enjoyed it too.
I I love passionate people here on the show, Charlie. I love to see people shine in their eyes when they talk about their career, or about their profession, about their life overall. I think it's
Mm,
amazing. I think it's great for us to be, sharing our experiences. I love your passion about teaching as well, your bands and everything. I think that's the way to be. You need to always, be ready to practice our passion. Could be anything, you know what I mean?
yeah.
Focus the most you can. And I think, talking to you, I could see how much you enjoy it. And I think that's the place to be. So thanks again for taking the time. Thanks for being so kind and sharing your experiences in life. Amazing.
Oh, a pleasure. Thank you again.
And before you go, if you can share a positive message or anything that you live by.
Yeah. Be kind to others,
Hmm.
and most importantly, be kind to yourself.
Wow, great point. Amazing. Keep in touch regards to your partner, to your friends and family, and you keep in touch. Okay, it was a pleasure to have you on the show. Have a good
Yeah.
night.
Yeah. Thank
Okay,
you. Have a good night, William. See you
take
later.
care. Bye bye. See you.
Bye.
Bye. So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, to share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, first subscribe to our channel, and after that, just go to our website www.williamandthemagicbox.com and send us a request saying why would you like to be part of the show. And I see you there. Bye bye. See you next time.